You thought the nightmare would end when the relationship did, but now it's showing up in court filings, custody threats, or endless legal stress. What if the legal system that was meant to protect you became their most powerful weapon? When someone manages to control your life using courtrooms, custody battles, legal threats, or paperwork, this is called legal abuse, and it's one of the most overlooked, undervalidated, and exhausting forms of coercive control. Most people think abuse ends when the relationship does, but for a lot of people, that's when a whole new cycle of abuse begins. Hi, I'm Callie Sorensen. I have a master's degree in the psychology of coercive control, and I help people recognize unhealthy dynamics like manipulation, emotional abuse, and toxic patterns so they can rebuild safe, empowered, and connected relationships. Every Tuesday, I expose a toxic tactic to help you spot manipulation, and today we're unpacking legal abuse, what it is, how it works, and why so many people feel like they can't get free even after they leave. So what exactly is legal abuse? Legal abuse, sometimes called paper abuse or litigation abuse, is when someone uses the legal system as a weapon to harass, punish, or control another person. It's not about justice. It's about power. It's about using systems that are supposed to protect people to keep them trapped. Just like financial abuse is not about money, legal abuse isn't really about winning a case. It's about draining your resources, your energy, your credibility, and your will to fight. Legal abuse can happen in any kind of relationship or setting. It can happen during divorce, parenting disputes, breakups, business entanglements, or even family systems. And while the tactics vary, the pattern is still the same. Use the legal system not for justice, but for control. And here's how it can show up in different contexts. For example, in divorce or separation, it may look like filing repeated lawsuits or motions just to drain your time, energy, and money. Deliberately delaying signing divorce papers to keep you tied to them, contesting things they don't care about just to prolong the process, refusing to split assets fairly, then blaming you for being difficult, threatening to ruin you with lies in court, using legal jargon or manipulating documents to confuse and intimidate you, threatening to sue you for defamation if you speak out about their abuse, filing restraining orders under false pretenses to discredit you. This is not about getting closure. It's about keeping you legally and emotionally stuck. In custody or co-parenting, they could threaten to take the kids even when they never wanted to parent before. Filing for full custody, not to protect the children, but to punish you. Withholding child support or financial support as retaliation. Making false claims to CPS to make you look like an unfit parent. Insisting on court-ordered mediation with no regard for safety, demanding extreme or unrealistic custody arrangements just to destabilize you, weaponizing your mental health diagnosis or trauma history in filings, saying "I'm just concerned" in court to subtly imply that you're unstable. This is not about parenting. This is about punishment. And in other examples, it could be trying to gain legal guardianship or conservatorship to restrict your independence, filing criminal charges or protection orders under false claims, using the legal system to withhold property, housing, or shared resources, threatening immigration consequences, revoking sponsorship, calling ICE, suing over small business disputes or other matters just to retaliate, sending subpoena threats to therapists, friends, or employers to isolate you, leaking legal documents or filing records to your job or online to destroy your reputation, spamming you with legal paperwork, knowing that you can't afford a lawyer, or any kind of threats. Again, this is not about what's illegal. It's about control, humiliation, and exhaustion. So whether it's a courtroom, a custody hearing, a business dispute, or a family trust, when someone uses the legal system to keep you scared, broke, or silenced, that's not conflict. That is coercive control. So what is the emotional and psychological impact of legal abuse? Legal abuse does not just happen in courtrooms. It follows you home. It moves into your body. It wears down your mind, and you start to feel like you're on trial every single day of your life. Even when you're just trying to eat, go to sleep, or just get through your morning, you're constantly bracing for another email, another filing, another threat, another accusation, another way that they're trying to discredit you, and you start to doubt your memory. You doubt your decisions. You doubt whether you're actually the one being manipulative. Because how could someone be this relentless unless you were the problem? It can erode your sense of stability, trust, and sanity. You can lose sleep, you lose money, you lose time you'll never get back, trying to prove that you're not the version of you that they wrote in a legal document. And it can ruin your relationships. And sometimes you start to wonder if people believe them, if maybe you're not safe in your own truth anymore. You walk on eggshells, not just in your relationships, but in your own life. Like one wrong move could get you dragged back into court. Or worse, have your kids taken, your job impact, all the money you saved gone, or your identity destroyed. This is institutional gaslighting, and it can work because even when the abuse is subtle, your nervous system doesn't know the difference. It just knows you are not safe. So why is this so hard to see and even harder to prove? Legal abuse hides behind systems of legitimacy. On paper, it can look like they're just using their rights. They have a right to custody. They're just going through the system. But in reality, it's strategic. It's repetitive. It's meant to break you down emotionally, financially, and physically without ever raising a hand. And worse, it's often sanctioned by the court because most judges are not trained in coercive control. They see conflict instead of abuse by proxy. So instead of protection, you get re-traumatized. You're forced into a mediation. You're told to co-parent with your abuser. You're labeled uncooperative for protecting your own safety. That's not just wrong. That is systematic gaslighting. And here's the part people do not understand. They don't have to win in court to win the control battle. They just have to keep you in it. Drained, scared, broke, overwhelmed, and too exhausted to keep pushing back. So what does recovery look like when the abuse is coming through the legal system? It doesn't always mean walking away or going no contact. Sometimes it means learning tools to stay calm when they are trying to get you to spiral. Sometimes it means gathering documents and evidence, not just for court, but to hold on to your own clarity. Sometimes it means building a support system that believes you, so you don't waste your energy proving yourself to people who never truly saw you. And sometimes recovery means learning to emotionally unhook, even while the legal case is still unfolding. Because recovery isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's about understanding the power dynamics at play and learning how to use the system for you instead of being dragged by it. It's not just about survival, it's about getting strategic. It's about finding the right support that meets your specific situation so you can respond with clarity and strength, not reactivity. So whether you're in the middle of it or still untangling from the impact, your nervous system deserves to feel grounded, and you deserve to feel like your story belongs to you again. If any of this felt familiar, you're not crazy and you're not being dramatic. You're not imagining things. You're dealing with a system that has been used against you strategically, and that system doesn't fully recognize coercive control and these subtle forms of abuse and legal abuse. But you are not powerless, and you don't have to go through it alone. I work one-on-one with people navigating these exact legal dynamics. Whether you're just about to get divorced, fighting a legal battle in court, or still trying to make sense of what's real, I help you build the clarity, the confidence, and the emotional support that you need to move through legal abuse, divorce, and custody battles with your sanity intact. Because when you have the right emotional and strategic support, you don't have to burn through thousands of dollars trying to get your lawyers to play therapist. You get to let your lawyer focus on the legal battle while you stay clear, grounded, and connected to your truth. And if that's what you need right now, the link to book a free consultation is in the description below. And if you're not ready for that yet, just keep on learning, keep on building that awareness, because awareness creates options, and options are how you get your freedom and your power back. So every Tuesday, I expose a toxic tactic, and every Friday, I teach different frameworks that help you understand and recover. So hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.